Hello, this is a Paxton School for Advanced Studies guidance presentation geared towards students and the parents of students who are currently in 9th and 10th grade. Hopefully by the end of this presentation you'll be able to understand more about what's required for high school graduation as well as planning for college. Here is our counselor breakdown, and as you can see, if your last name begins with the letters A through H, Mrs. Ashley will be your counselor. If your last name begins with the letters I through R, Mrs. Bajalia is your counselor. If your last name begins with the letters S through Z, Mrs. Mullen is your counselor. And if you are a student on the IB program of study in 9th or 10th grade, regardless of where your last name falls on the alphabet, Ms. Mullen is the counselor for all students on the IB program of study. Some additional guidance support staff is Ms. Baranowski. She's our person in charge of scheduling parent-teacher conferences. So if you needed to schedule a conference, you would dial extension 116, as well as passing out information for the grade portal. And Ms. Bennett is our records clerk, so she handles student records. Now, some important dates. October 17th is when we will be giving the PSAT during the day here at Paxton. And it's important that as 9th and 10th graders, you take that seriously because it helps to prepare you for when you take the PSAT in 11th grade, because in 11th grade is when you can qualify for national merit standing. Also, the ACT and SAT, though you may not be taking those tests now because we recommend students begin taking them in 11th grade, it's good to know when the tests are offered, and these are the websites where you can go for each test to find out additional information as well as get some practice in before you actually have to take the test in 11th grade. Now, graduation requirements for students who are on the AP Honors Program of Study include 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 4 credits of science, which must include biology, 2 physical sciences, which could be like a chemistry or physics or earth-space science, and then 1 additional science. Students on this program of study also have to take 4 credits of social studies, which include world history, American government, economics, and then 1 additional history course. Students also must take 2 years of a world language, and it must be in the same world language. 1 credit of visual performing fine art, 1 credit of HOPE, which is the health and PE combination class, and then 4 additional elective credits. Now, a Paxton requirement is that all of our students on this program of study take a minimum of 9 AP credits prior to graduating. Students also must pass the FCAT in grade 10, the reading and math sections, and have a cumulative unweighted GPA of 2.0. Now, students on the IB program of study, their credits are a little bit different. Still need to have 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 4 credits of science, 4 credits of social studies, but of those, they must be all honors level or higher with at least 1 IB or AP course for each of those subject areas. IB students also must have 2 world language credits, but here at Paxton, our students take 4 credits in the same language, so that won't be a problem. They also need 1 credit of theory of knowledge and then 9 additional elective or arts credits. And this includes the student's IB 6 subject. Some additional requirements of students on the IB program of study is that they must complete an extended essay. They have to complete their CAS or Creativity Active Service requirement, and that doesn't start until 11th grade. They must complete all of their IB assessments, receive a passing score on the grade 10 FCAT, and maintain a cumulative unweighted GPA of 2.0 or above. Now, Bright Futures is something that's it's really important to understand how it works because it is one of the scholarships that if you apply and you meet the criteria, you get it. So the top award is the Florida Academic Scholars Award, and for this, students must have a 3.5 Bright Futures GPA, and they have to have a 1290 on the SAT or 29 on the ACT as well as 100 hours of community service. Now, IB students, if you get the IB diploma, you automatically get this award, regardless of your GPA, SAT, or ACT score, but you do have to have the community service requirement. Also, if a student does not get the IB diploma, but they complete the IB curriculum, then All Right Futures is going to be looking for is that qualifying SAT or ACT score, as well as the community service hours. The next tier for Bright Futures would be the Florida Medallion Scholars, and for this scholarship, you have to have a 3.0 Bright Futures GPA, an 1170 on the SAT, or a 26 on the ACT, as well as 75 hours of community service. And again, IB students, if you complete the IB curriculum, then you just need the qualifying SAT or ACT score and community service hours. Now, kept on saying Bright Futures GPA. This is what Bright Futures looks at to calculate that GPA. They're going to be looking for 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, 3 credits of science, 3 credits of social studies, and 2 credits of a foreign language. So, for instance, if you took 4 years of a foreign language, or you took 4 years of a science, they're going to look at your highest 2 or your highest 3 credits so that you have a better chance of getting that higher GPA. Speaking of GPA, this slide explains the difference between weighted and unweighted. And this slide in particular is for if your course is a semester course, meaning you get 2 grades for the same course on your transcript, one for the first semester and one for the second. This is the scale, and as you can see for your unweighted, it does not include any extra points. The district weighted will give you half a point extra for any honors AP or IB class. And your Bright Futures GPA, you'll get an additional 0.25 points for any honors AP or IB class. For year-long courses, such as geometry or biology, that you only get the grade on your transcript once, this is the scale. And again, you get no additional points for your unweighted GPA. For the district GPA, you would get half a point for any honors AP or IB classes, and you would get a quarter point for any honors AP or IB classes for Bright Futures. Community service. This is something that not only benefits you as a person, but it is something that is required for graduation here at Paxson. At Paxson, we require a minimum of 75 hours of community service, and this will ensure that all of our students meet at least the Florida Medallion Scholars community service requirement. Remember, community service cannot be something that you are paid for. That includes receiving a grade for, and be careful if it's done through a religious institution. If you have any questions, just make sure that you check with your counselor before you start the service hours to make sure that they will count. For your community service to be documented, you must complete these 3 forms, and you can get them off of our school website in the guidance section. There's a self-evaluation form that you need that the student completes. There's a leader evaluation form that whoever is supervising you completes, and then you have the log where you would list the dates and number of hours each time you went. Here are just some places that our students have gone in the past to get community service. In particular, the zoo or the MOSH. They usually have activities during the year and over the summertime for students to participate in order to earn community service hours. And it's important that you get involved now, that community service, as well as getting involved in any clubs or activities, because colleges like to see well-rounded students. So it's important that you are involved not just on campus but off campus as well. And something to think about is it's better to be involved in a fewer amount of activities over a long period of time than just a bunch of activities across your 4 years here in high school, because it shows that you're committed to the same activity. This is just a sample of what a college application might look like that will ask you to list any extracurricular activities that you've been involved in. They want to know, did you have any positions that were held? Did you receive any special awards? That sort of thing. So it just goes to show that they want well-rounded students. Now here's a resource that you might find helpful. It's formerly facts.org. This is Florida Virtual Campus, or flvc.org, and you can find a lot of resources on college planning. It can show you things about different colleges and universities here in Florida and degrees that can be obtained from there, different majors that schools offer. So it's a good idea for you to check out this site as a resource. Another resource is bigfuture.org, and this is through the College Board. Students can go on here and you can create a profile to help you with choosing a career or seeing what colleges or universities you might be interested in attending. So this is a resource that we recommend you checking out, setting up a profile so that you can make a plan now and be prepared when you become a senior. I hope that you found the presentation helpful, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to call the guidance office and speak with your guidance counselor. Thank you.